Yo, what's going on, YouTube, and welcome to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte, and we are taking a look at the Anaheim Ducks today at their former 2019 first-round pick, Trevor Zegras, as he is leading most prospect boards as the #1 prospect in the NHL. We're going to be taking a look at why in this video. If you like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to see the latest news around the NHL and more videos like this, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe down below, and let's take a look at Trevor Zegras. Alright, so as usual, guys, before we get too far into this video, I want to give a quick plug to our Instagram and Twitter handles at goalline_hockey. Links will be in the description down below, as well as playing throughout this video. And make sure to check out our Patreon for a weekly podcast every Thursday night where we take a look at the latest news around the NHL, answer your guys' questions from the YouTube comment section down below. So if you want a chance for your question to be answered on next week's podcast, make sure to leave a comment down below. Alright, so with that out of the way, guys, the Anaheim Ducks are leading the way, potentially, in most opinions. Maybe not in the standings, specifically this season, maybe not even next season. But they have a very, very talented player they selected in the first round 2019, back in the day, all that whole year ago. The Anaheim Ducks potentially have the top prospect in the NHL prospect system overall. That is Trevor Zegras. Trevor Zegras is from Bedford, New York. He is 19 years old, and he is on you can make the argument he could be the next face of the Anaheim Ducks as soon as, not this season, but next season for the Anaheim Ducks. Some of you may be saying, why is that? He's a former 9th overall pick back in 2019. You look at the players that went ahead of him in that draft. Let's just take a look at some of the names. Jack Hughes, Capo Caco, Kirby Dach, Bowen Byram, Alex Turcotte, Moritz Seider, Dylan Cousins, and Philip Broberg all went ahead of Trevor Zegras. But there is a lot of hype around Trevor Zegras because of what he has done in the U.S. National Development Team, in the USHL as well, in his first season with the Boston University Terriers last year. So let's take a look at his numbers. So in his time in the U.S. National Development Program, he's done very well there. Unbelievably well. You look at his numbers. In 58 games, he has 74 points. His first season in the NCAA with BU last season, pretty impressive numbers. 36 points in 33 games for Trevor Zegras. 11 goals, and 25 assists. He was a +8. He's been a plus in his plus-minus career so far. Trevor Zegras in the 2020 World Junior Championships in 5 games put up 9 assists. Guys, Trevor Zegras has blown up the charts ahead of guys like Dylan Cousins, who were drafted ahead of him. Jack Hughes, Capo Caco. He has really risen. Now, it's going to take longer for him to develop, unlike a Capo Caco who we saw last season, or Jack Hughes, or a Dylan Cousins who we're going to see this season. I think the hype around Trevor Zegras will begin once we see the current captain of the Anaheim Ducks leave the organization potentially as soon or potentially before the end of this 2021 NHL season, and that is Ryan Getzlaf. Ryan Getzlaf is on the final year of a massive contract with the Anaheim Ducks, and unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at things, will likely be the end of his career with the Ducks. He's 35 years old, finishing a major contract that he signed back in the day, an 8-year, $66 million contract, $8.25 million per season. This is the last season of that contract. It is a no-move clause, but there is a potential that he does get moved before the NHL trade deadline in the spring, depending on where the Ducks sit. And with where they are in that division, I would not be surprised if the Ducks are selling at this year's trade deadline, depending on how that even works. So that's something to keep an eye on. Ryan Getzlaf, final year of his deal, 35 years old. And the reason for this is he is a center. And you look at the centers that the Ducks already have. You've got Ryan Getzlaf, Andre Kashe, all right? David Backes, final year of his deal. Dan Heinen, final year of his deal. There's going to be a lot of change for the Anaheim Ducks. And you've got guys like Troy Terry coming up. You have a Sam Steele coming up, and a Trevor Zegras, who are going to fill out that top, those top 3 spots down the middle. More likely, they will all be in the top 6, and one of them will just play on the wing at some point. But Trevor Zegras has grown a lot of hype around the NHL, and I think the hype is for real, because what he did last season with the Boston University Terriers, I think up at BU, he really showed what he can do. And we've seen guys struggle in the NCAA. We saw what happened to Oliver Wahlstrom when he went up to Boston College to play with the Eagles. He did not do that well. He ended up going to Bridgeport of the American Hockey League, and his career has kind of regressed since then. I don't think we're going to see that here with Trevor Zegras. He's been performing very well up at Boston University, and I think it's just going to continue the pipeline. I think Bob Murray picked a very talented center here with the 9th overall pick. I think it's going to pay dividends for them for potentially the next 2 decades. So guys, let me know in the comment section down below, do you think that Trevor Zegras is the #1 prospect in the NHL right now? Or do you think it's someone else? Do you think it's a Dylan Cousins? Do you think it's maybe one of those other guys like a Bowen Byram? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to see the latest news around the NHL, guys, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe down below. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.